Hey, this is Orange County Executive Steve Neuhaus. This month, April, is Autism Awareness Month, so I have some really great guests with me. My friend Pedro Garcia and Mike Moreno, and we're going to be talking about Lighted Up Blue, we're going to be talking about autism, and we're going to be talking about being Orange County residents. So with that, gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Michael and Pedro. So I guess we'll start with you, Pedro, first, because you and I are both from Chester. We can talk about Middletown after. Mike's from Middletown.
Sure.
You grew up in Chester.
Correct.
You started a career working, I think, in the school districts and helping out with translating and helping out right after high school?
I actually, right out of high school, I worked for the county.
Yeah.
Orange County Health Department, Mary McPhillips days. I did that for about a year. Then after that, I got into computer IT. And then 2011, September 11, all that fun stuff, I got into real estate. And I've been doing that ever since.
So we're going to get into how you met Mike, but now Mike, you grew up a little bit north of us, or you went to Middletown. You're from Middletown now.
Yeah, the nicer part of Orange County.
Nicer part of Orange County. There we go.
Chester's beautiful.
Look, when I was a kid, and we had a county legislator who passed away, Dennis Simmons, great guy. He was always like, everything was about football games. He was from Port Jervis.
Yep.
So we'd always start a meeting, where are you from, who played for what team, and Port Jervis was always the best, but obviously Middletown, very big, competitive, great area, great school district.
Yes.
One of my friends, Marcus Orrego, teaches history there, and we have some wonderful students that are working in our employment training program right now. But so you're from Middletown. Where were you born and raised?
I was born down in Rockland County,
Okay.
Hospital. Moved up here when I was 5 years old, and I've been in Middletown ever since.
So we talked a little bit before we went on the air. Your career has been in law enforcement.
Yes.
You got 24 years in the
24
NYPD?
years, yes.
And we really appreciate what you do, and I know the public does. You might not get all the love all the time, but I think everybody values what you do and the sacrifice. You've now your family are gone. The hours are always are tough. But one thing, how did you two meet each other?
Pedro was in a cover band, a rock band.
Oh boy!
Back in the days.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they would.
Chester.
Yeah, all the guys from Chester. They would travel all throughout Orange County, going to the local bars and.
So you were the only male groupie?
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a groupie. I had a girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, we would go see the shows, and we got to know each other. And actually, one of the band members that was in Where's Grant was the name of the band, right?
Where's Grant?
My cousin was friends with one of the band members, so we kind of had
Oh, very cool.
a little connection there to begin with.
So you get a little bit older, you both get married, you both have kids, and you have a son, Max,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And your son, Max, is born in 26, when was he, 2000?
2006.
2006.
Yes.
And do you know anything about autism at that point?
Nothing.
When is he diagnosed with
Not a clue.
being on the spectrum?
So, he was diagnosed, he was born October in 2006. I would say I started and the family started recognizing, just some abnormal things. So we brought him to the pediatrician. The pediatrician suggested that we bring him to a neurologist to get checked out. And right before he turned 3, he was diagnosed being on the spectrum. Yeah. So right after that, we got him involved with the early childhood, education and everything, which I cannot reiterate enough. Early intervention, I believe, and I am not a doctor.
Yeah.
I am not a therapist. I'm just a parent that has grown up with a son. He's 17 years old now. Early intervention, I believe, is the most important part of starting the process of going in the right direction to get your daughter or your son,
That was like going to be my big question for you. We recognized 2 gentlemen this month who were both autistic brothers, and we had them yesterday in the office. And I asked their mother, I'm like, you find out that your 2 boys are on the spectrum or autistic, like, who gives you the most help? And she said there was a lot. She said organization Inspire. She mentioned a guy, Marcel, who's very active with it.
Yep.
So for the parents that are listening out there, the young men and women that are now new parents and they say, okay, we think that we need to get some help.
Yeah.
Early intervention
Early
was the biggest thing for you guys.
Yes. So yeah, and I believe the toughest part of the whole thing was, and again, I knew nothing about autism, nothing at all. The acceptance part of it.
Yeah.
You know, you love your child, right?
Yeah.
Unconditionally, you love your child. To get the diagnosis that he was autistic, and then obviously knowing nothing about it whatsoever, it was hard to accept it. You know, it was a very tough time in life, just with him, you know, dealing with what he was going through, with life in general, with work, and you have to, you know, put everything together, and, you know, once you accept it, again, early intervention is the most important thing that I believe that you can do for, you know, a person on the spectrum.
And we're going to talk just, you know, your son's now pushing 20.
Yeah.
And one of the things we started in the county was Think Differently, and it's a group of men and women that try to make sure that nobody's left behind, that the county's inclusive, that, you know, our parks, we're sitting here at the Graham Ski Lodge at the Thomas Bull Park, and just below us is Sally's Dream.
Yes.
And I remember one of the first things we did when I came in office was their parks department revamped many of our parks to make them accommodating to people that were on the spectrum, or maybe a grandfather or a child that might be in a wheelchair, that might have some type of physical disability but may not be able to enjoy our parks. So now your son is pushing 20. Have you seen society improve? So like now the couple that's listening to us right now that's in your seat, you know, 15 years ago, getting this diagnosis, is it a lot at least better, or is there better information or accommodations to their kid out there?
So you brought up Sally's Dreams.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times that I brought my son there.
Yeah.
You know, not so much anymore, because you say, you know, he's 17 years old now.
My kids too have all regulars.
He still asks sometimes to go over there. I can't tell you the amount of times that we brought him there when he was younger. But yeah, there is a lot more, there are a lot more resources out there now, thank God. And maybe it was just because I wasn't informed enough, or I didn't have enough knowledge about it, and you know, researching it more. But I think the science has gotten better with it, the medical aspect of it has gotten better with it, just through time. There's more advancements with it. There's no treatment for autism.
Yeah.
You know, you have autism, and you met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. Everybody else is different. But there are much more resources out there for, you know, people to get involved with. And that's pretty much why Pedro and I started, you know, Light It Up Blue. Through my experiences with it, you know, I asked him for help to reach out to the community, and that's how Hudson Valley Light It Up Blue got started.
So you guys are buddies before, obviously, the marriage and kids and stuff, or, you know, and now you're both fathers, and I know you got a son too. We'll talk about him too. But you decide you're raising money, and you can get pulled in 20 different directions all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I just went on an honor flight, and I know ShopRite's a big contributor to them, and I know I thank their CEO for supporting some of the veterans, because I know he's got everybody asking him for money. It hit home because your friend has a son on autism. Is that what triggered it with you, Pedro?
All he had to do was ask. There was the week before, I remember at Billy Joe Ribworks, I had put something together for MS, actually for a local person. He attended, and then a week later, we got together for appetizers, and you know, he's like, "How did you do that?" And he told me about Max.
Yeah.
From, you know, he's like, "Do you know this? Do you know this?" I'm like, "Well, it's Max. It's your son. I'm not paying attention. I love him." And then he explained to me about, you know, the spectrum, being on autism. I remember going home that night, Googling. You know, I had no idea what he was talking about, and at that time, no one really did. So we put together a very little fundraiser, which that year,
2012.
Yeah, it was Center
Anderson Center.
So we called them up. We were like, "We're going to do something," and we had like 25, 30 people show up. We got people together. We started spreading the word, and then that's where it just blew up. You know, the next year, are you doing that again? The next year, are you doing that again? And then the numbers started growing, and fast forward, you know, we probably expect this weekend 600 to 700 people.
Wow.
So, you
And
know, he asked, and we put it together.
And its success is like building on success. I saw the lineup. You have some great people involved in your team.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm looking at you have a whole picturesque of all these really rock stars that are part of the success. So what are people going to see when they come this weekend?
Oh, geez. Well, the most important thing, which, you know, we talk about, everything to enter, everything to come is free. You walk in,
Wow, that's great.
You know, the Otter Kill donates the pasta bar, the food. But, you know, we collect donations. So when you come through the door, whether you have $1 or a penny, you come in, door prize, 55-inch TV. If you have a penny, put it in, I'm going to give you.
Wow.
Everybody's on the same playing field.
I've never heard of something like that.
Yeah,
So-
we try to keep it,
Yeah.
you know, as even keeled as possible for everybody.
The donations, we probably have over 120 raffles. Everything is community given to us. Everybody comes out. Outside, we're going to have the Black Dirt Bandits playing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Donated.
Great.
DJ, Mike Ruzzi, Chewy Down, they're playing music for us all night. And we have some great guests. We have kids that are going to help sell tickets.
Yep, kids from Menacing Valley Honor Society are coming to sell tickets this year.
Great.
So
So they'll be
we
there.
try to involve everyone.
Yep.
But yeah.
I think that's a great concept that you're not pushing at the door. Whatever you got, you got.
That's it.
Usually everybody like, you got this. Oh, this is not included. That's not included.
Nope, everything's
Probably
included.
gets people to
you know.
donate more.
Yeah, we have, you know, there is, if you want specialty food, you know, you
Raffles
can
and
purchase
stuff.
it. But yeah, it's, you can, you know, if you have $5, you can win an Oculus, a PlayStation, or, you know, everything is just equal.
How long has Light It Up Blue actually been the event, officially been going on for how many years?
So our first event was 2012. We missed the 2 years of COVID, and this will be our 11th event, but it's been going
That's
on
great.
since 2012. Even during COVID, we were doing stuff online. We, you know, giving out raffles and stuff online just to keep people involved and let them know that, you know,
We're still here.
We're still here. We're still in the community. We're still thinking about you.
I think autism is not going away. I mean, it's the awareness out there. I think is wonderful.
Right.
And you know, whether you see somebody has it on the back of their car, or you see an event, or you say, "Hey, this place is friendly." One of the things we talked about yesterday with this mom with the two boys is she went through different theme parks, some that are accommodating to her children, some that are not. So you really see firsthand how it is for people like you as a parent, or for your son.
Sure.
What works, what doesn't work.
So I mean, again, this is why we started Hudson Valley Light It Up Blue. It's the community is just amazing. We've met so many people, and the family that you're talking about, we know them
Yeah,
very
they're
well.
great.
Amazing people, amazing people.
They help us quite a bit.
So with the early intervention, people were coming to my house and helping my son. And like I said, the times, the outbursts and the tantrums, and he was nonverbal at the time, you know. Doctors told us that he probably would never speak. His first words we're donating to Inspire this year. His first words were said, he was almost 5 years old. His first words were said at Inspire.
Wow.
So he went there, so.
And he was a prognosis of never going to be able to speak.
Yeah, that's what the doctors told us.
Wow.
He would probably never speak. But yeah, so we started that because, you know, all these therapists were coming into my home, and then come to find out, a lot of these therapists had children of their own that were on the spectrum. And, you know, being with them for so long, I'm still personal friends with a lot of them now.
Great.
We get to know them, we get to know their families, we get to know what they do, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. We exchange information. And just by starting Hudson Valley Light It Up Blue, we've been involved with the Orange County Thunderbolts. You know,
Stacy's
right,
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Stacey Rozelle, she's wonderful. You know, the different
Beautiful
organizations that we've donated to, Beautiful People, Inspire, Center for Spectrum Services, Anderson, you know, and we get to know the peoples and the groups that are involved with them. And we go to different events with them, and we become a family, we become a community, and we see what works, and you know, we exchange information, and we know that, you know, if we go to this place, they're very welcoming and accepting here. If you go to this place,
Wow.
they're welcoming and they're accepting, but it's just not, it may not be a good fit. So we exchange information, we have message boards, we message back and forth on, the Light of the Blue Facebook page, and we see each other quite often. Growing up, a lot of our sons and daughters are the same age now from when we started this back in 2012. So we go to different events and we see each other, and we bounce information off of each other, and we figure out what works and what doesn't work.
You guys have been doing this now over 10 years.
Yeah.
Are you having people coming up to you be like, listen, I got invited to this, or you guys made a difference in my kid's life, or you helped my family? So you're getting these success stories
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
that you guys have.
I've walked into houses where the families are there when I'm showing them, and the kids at that time would be like, "Mom, that's the blue guy,"
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
they come to our events. So it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and just to be aware for this event that we hold, it's once a year. I would love to do it more. We would love to do it more. It's just it's a huge undertaking. It's a lot of work, but it's a judgment-free day.
Oh yeah.
It's difficult enough to get through life with some of the challenges that people have. You come to this day, it's judgment-free. You walk
Wonderful.
in there, you have a great time. The kids are smiling, the parents are smiling, siblings are smiling, everybody's smiling.
Yep.
It's a great day. It's an amazing day.
That is
They
the
dance,
amount
they
of
have
people
fun.
and how it's grown is just an example of A, the need for it, and B, that you guys have really built a successful model that's going to actually help people.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not just about the awareness either. Awareness is absolutely wonderful. You got to move on from the awareness to the acceptance to the inclusion, because like we said earlier, you're on the spectrum. You have autism. It doesn't go away. There's no treatment for it. All right. So if you're diagnosed like Max was at 3 years old, he's going to have autism until he's 90 years old.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away. So children grow up to be adults, and adults have autism too. And coming out of school, high school, whatever, different programs, these people are going to need jobs.
Right.
They need to be,
Yeah, I was going to get into that.
accepted and included in life.
And that's what I love about what I'm seeing now in society, the more opportunities to get these folks to be part of society, and instead of just compartmentalize them. Pedro, you have a son, Evan?
Evan, yeah.
So he must go to these with you.
Oh, yeah.
Does he know what you're doing and what this is for?
He definitely has an idea.
Yeah.
He hangs out with Max.
Yeah.
They were like the same, and all of a sudden Max is like so much
Sprouted,
bigger
yeah.
now. But no, he looks up to Max. They all play. They all hang out.
That's
He
great.
knows. He definitely knows what we're doing and what I'm doing all the
this
time.
is
And I
like-
explain to him. It's very important.
I spoke at a breakfast today about accountability, and I said, look, we hold our children accountable, and we also incorporate them in our lives.
Yep.
And they see the type of things that we're involved in, whether it's charity or not. And if the more that you can expose them and get them involved, maybe a more well-rounded person and maybe caring and giving person.
Absolutely.
The one thing, I was in Japan a year ago, and what I liked about that society, I was there for the military for a little bit, is that everybody works there.
Right.
And if you have some type of disability, they'll help you out with robotics, or very high tech. But I think that giving people the opportunity to be part of whether the workforce or being part of something, I think it's the best thing we can do. And where do you see Max in 5 years?
Well, it's funny you bring that up. We actually went to a introductory kind of tour for the Bridges program over at Orange County Community College a couple weeks ago. They have a few different paths you can take, and Max was very interested in it. We actually got an email back yesterday inviting us back for an interview. So we're going to go sometime towards the end of May. We're going to go for an interview there with the Bridges program. Max was very interested in some of the classes that they had to offer, which is huge because, he's 17 years old and he's still a child, and he does have challenges, but he likes video games.
Yeah, every kid does.
Right, he likes watching. He likes watching TV. He's involved in sports. He likes to play, basketball, baseball. But like he asked me, like, Max, what do you want to do with your life? He goes, I don't know. Yeah. Most 17-year-olds have no clue anyway.
There's
We
30,
talk
40,
to a
50
bunch.
year olds.
I was the same way. I tell every 17, 18-year-old, I'm like, if your parents give you a hard time, and you don't know exactly what you want to do in college or where you want to work, it's okay.
Right.
The goal is to be happy.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do something that you're going to be happy with.
Yeah, but when we were there, he was asking questions. He's like, well, what about this class? And what about this class? And
Great.
he showed an interest in it, which really got me excited.
Yeah, it's
you
great.
know? So,
He graduates this year.
yeah, he'll be graduating this year, and hopefully, you know, the interview goes well, and he'll be enrolled with the Bridges program.
So you've been living with your son for 17 years. Pedro has been involved with you guys for now over 11 years with Light It Up Blue.
Yep.
You've seen some things change. What other things, like what would you love to see from society now that you don't see? Like, man, if there's one thing that could change, or two things, or society would do just this, it would make it that much easier for Max and everybody else in his boat.
Yeah, okay, well, you know, like I said,
And I give tough, loaded questions. So
that is a tough question, but it's a good question. Like I said, children with autism grow up to be adults with autism.
Yeah.
And they need jobs. They need assistance as adults.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that we have to spread the word more, where, you know, people think, you know, oh, once you're a kid and, you know, you're 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, you don't need help anymore. These people still need help.
Yeah.
They still need assistance. I think it would be great for just, you know, the community as a whole to reach out and say, listen, we have job placements for people on the spectrum or with any kind of intellectual or physical, you know, disability. We're here for you. We can help you. And, you know, reach out from there. And just being here today, to be honest with you, being here today and doing this with you, this is going to reach so many people.
Absolutely.
And there are people that still don't know about autism or people on the spectrum. If this reaches one person, you know, and they say, wow, you know what, we may have a job opening for somebody, that would be wonderful.
So Pedro, we got the big event this weekend.
Yes.
Then how do people get involved if they want to get involved in 2 weeks from now? They can't make this event. Online, is there,
Yes.
you can donate online,
Yep.
you can visit your site.
Yeah, we have our website, HudsonValleyLightUpBlue.com, and you know, we're also part of the Community Foundation.
Yes.
So you can go on Community Foundation, which we owe them a lot. They helped us throughout the years organize everything. So you can donate to them as well on their page.
That's great.
So we're everywhere. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere.
That's awesome.
And we still, you know, we get things afterwards. We're not done. You know, we had the whole month of giving with Jersey Mike's. They gave us the entire month of March. Every day was 10% from their proceeds. On the 27th,
Yeah, Wednesday.
they gave us the entire day, 100%.
Wow.
So
They are, by the way, they are one of my, I know we have our local spots too, and but I do hit them up all the time.
Yeah.
And now they're one of the official sandwich shops in the military base. It used to be
That's
Subway,
great.
but they're
There we go.
rotating them out.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I love that they're giving back on that, because we give a lot of companies a hard time that come here, like, you're not sponsoring my kid's softball team,
Right.
or you know, you don't see them, and that's why you want to try to help local government, or local businesses. But that's great. So Pedro, what's been the most rewarding part of being a part of Light It Up Blue?
Oh man, there's so much to choose from. Just being a part of it, seeing that the day of Light It Up Blue, seeing everybody. I even get emotional still.
Yeah.
Seeing everybody come together. Everybody just, it's like you're supposed to show up. There's people that show up. They still bring us things the day of. We made this. Can you don't? You know, this is our donation. So the joy that they bring, it just makes me so happy. And then, of course, being part of Max's life throughout everything and watching him grow. I can't wait to go to his graduation this year.
Yeah.
So that's just a load of credit. This is every day, everything about it.
We see a lot of negativity in society, in the world, and you have a tough job, and I know you're seeing stuff too in the real estate market and challenges. There's so much great stuff going on too, and there's so much generosity and kindness. And that's why we need to talk, and people listening to this, like you said, it's tough. Life is tough to begin with.
Yeah.
Sure. What about you? What's been the most rewarding part of this? Because now it's not about Max anymore.
Right.
You're helping other families.
Right.
You've taken something that's happened and impacted your family, and now helping others that are in the same situation.
Yeah. Like Pedro said, I think we get, you know, comments throughout the year, but you know, we see people out in the public throughout the year, and they're always thanking us. But the day of the event, if you've never been, just seeing the kids laughing and smiling. They've been through so much, you know, through life, and just that one day, it's
winning
like,
that prize.
It's great for you. Oh, if
Dancing,
they win something,
if they
forget
win
it.
something.
That's great.
Jumping up and down, smiling, and I don't know about, I can speak for Pedro on this. We don't like being the center of attention for anything. Throughout my life, I don't like being the center of attention for anything. It's nice to be approached by individuals and people and saying, Hudson Valley Blue, Light It Up Blue, you know, did this or did that, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's good that people are coming up to us because it means that we did something for the community. And not just me and Pedro. You know, we have a lot of help, our family, girlfriends, wives, kids, friends, everybody. It's not just us.
No, like we put it together. It's the community that really brings it to us.
That's great.
You know,
people are approaching us now saying, you know, what can we do to help you?
All
what
the
can
time.
we donate? You know, where do we need to be? And it's great. It's a good feeling because it means we're doing something. You know, it means that we're succeeding in what our goal was.
One of my I've been shifting lately when I give some presentations and I talk to people from the public to government leaders to military people. And I've now focused on like, what's going to be your legacy? Right. Like you got your jobs, okay, and you have your children, and but what is going to be your mark on how you've impacted this world? How have you impacted and made things better for something bigger than yourself? And you two are both doing that. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and I know the community does, and I know a lot of people that are not sure about autism, but it's impacting them, are going to watch us, and know that they're not alone, and that there's resources, and you know, there's all different avenues. Like we talked about Inspire, we talked about yesterday, we talked about all these different organizations. You said the Community Foundation, and you know, it's the Center for Discovery. All these different avenues, and we just need to plug people in to make sure. That they get the opportunities that they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, none of us are. People come up and ask me questions all the time. I may not have the answer, but I guarantee I know somebody who does.
Direct them in the
we'll
right
reach out
place.
to them and we'll get
Well,
you the right
I
answer.
appreciate you both, and I appreciate the time with you. One last time, Pedro, where do people go to learn about Light Up Blue and how they can not only show up at the event coming up this weekend, but also support all year long?
Well, we're on all platforms. The big one is Facebook, Hudson Valley Light Up Blue on Facebook. You can call us directly. 914-850-1909 is my number. And
Community
the Community
Foundation.
Foundation, it's everywhere.
Great.
With
Gentlemen,
you.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
And
Steve.
I didn't even get a
Appreciate
chance to really talk about the Middletown-Chester rivalry, but we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we're better.
The entire county. It's
We're
great.
the Hamiltonians. Oh, you're a bear.
Thank
the
you
Middies.
both. Yeah. Thank you both, though, again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching,
we
folks.